Welcome to this video. It's going to be about how to start with Orcs and Goblins in the 9th Age. So it's going to be mostly about Goblins, to be honest, and not that much about Orcs, because I found quite some good deals for some Goblins here and there. And as always with these beginner army videos, I will first talk over a bit of a list that can get you started to get into the game. And then later we'll see how we flesh out this army in terms of models. So as you can see, I have a window open which is New Recruit. New Recruit is a online platform that allows you to build lists for 9th Age. And it's quite convenient, quite handy in the way that it works. You can select any army basically and then put in the point value that you want to build. Then you can choose from all of the choices that are present in the book. You can create units, adjust the sizes, do upgrades, and etc. It gets added in the list automatically, and you also get warnings when stuff goes wrong in your list building, basically. So in the end, I ended up with this list, basically also based on models that I found on the internet. I'll have a look at what the list has. So it's gonna be this. So we have a Goblin King who is on a Gargantula, because that is awesome. This is one of the biggest monsters in 9th Age, and it definitely deserves a place in a Goblin army. It is a bit of an imposing model maybe to paint as a beginner, so I would advise to start with some Goblins and then go over to the Gargantula. We have 2 Goblin Witch Doctors, because you cannot have a Goblin army with just one wizard, because, well, I mean, it's Goblins, so you need multiple. Then we have 2 units of Goblins. They are Cave Goblins. They have 2 Mad Gits. These follow basically nearly the rules that Fanatics used to follow in Warhammer Fantasy battles. And you have the Banner of Discipline to make sure that your Goblins don't run away as easily. Then for support you have 2 units of Cave Trolls, which are quite hard at these point levels, I would say, except if your opponent brings flaming attacks. And then we have 2 units of Grotlings, which are basically very small Goblins. So I was looking at different lists, and basically this seemed like quite a big army to field for the budget that I'm putting for these videos, which is about 150 euros for the entire model collection for the army. I also want to mention that, well, in the Netherlands we have Marktplaats, and, well, every country has its own second-hand shop, online shop, and Marktplaats is a place where a lot of stuff is being traded, but also especially Warhammer and Wargaming even has its own category, and currently there's like 5,749 results if you look for this. So that is quite a bit more than when I started. So you have a lot of different stuff on there. There's also occasionally the Orcs and Goblins armies. There's also people that offer 3D printing if you need it. There's all kinds of stuff on there. So even if you would just look for any army, then you can mostly find like a Mega Dwarf army, like you can find anything basically on here. So we went over the list, and now model-wise we're going to look at what you can expect. So this is the Arachnarok spider from Games Workshop, which is quite a nifty kit to make a very big spider that looks quite angry. Obviously the 50 euros that this costs already costs like 1/3 of the budget that we have. So for the rest of the army we have to go pretty cheap. You could go with the Stabas from Games Workshop, however these do not really bring that great value for money, because, well, they're 30 euros more or less for 20 models. This should be possible to do this a bit better, and yes, there is a company that does this. So I found Wargames Atlantic, which allows you to buy Goblins for only 32 euros for 30 models. So you get 30 Goblin warriors with spears, bows, or apparently a variety of nasty hand weapons. Of course, they're not going to be the best Goblins that you can buy, probably, but, well, we're still on a budget, so I think this is quite a cool set to get involved. And then this company also has something else, which is this box, which is the Giant Spider box. So, oh, I'm pressing on the wrong pictures here. So basically you get an assortment of spiders, and you get a total of 12 giant spiders and 12 smaller spiders. So these bigger spiders, I would argue, you can even put riders on them if you want. The bigger spiders, I would argue, you can use as trolls, and then the smaller ones you can use as grotlings. So with this one box costing 32 euros, you're going to be able to field all the trolls and the grotlings that you need for the list. Because in the end we have twice the 30 goblins, we have the 6 trolls, 3 grotlings, 3 grotlings. The witch doctors you can take from some goblin parts, or you can be creative with the goblins. So you have 30 goblins in a unit, you have 2 medkits, you have 1 wizard. That is a demand of 33 models per box of 30. However, you can also put 1 goblin on a double base or something and then just make some unit fillers. You'll get there. So in the end, we spent 50 euros on the Goblin King with the Gargantula. We spent 50 euros on 30 goblins with a wizard and the medkits. And then we spent 50 euros on the total of 2x6 trolls and 2x3 grotling stands. Because the grotling stands, you can model them with 2 of the smaller spiders per base. So that is my proposal for this Orcs and Goblin army. We can also still look in Warhall how it would look more or less. So Warhall is a software that is also quite beginner friendly, that allows you to play online 9th age. You can once again create any kind of unit from any army. So for example, a dwarf holds king, and now I have a dwarf hold king on the battlefield. So this way I also made this army, which you can see here. This is just to give you a bit of an idea of what the army looks like on the table and how it fills the table space. So you have the 2 goblin units, and then you have the grotlings to go basically in front because they scout and they can vanguard. You have 2 units of trolls as combat support for your goblins. You could also give the goblins shields, or you can give them bows as you like. And then we have the Goblin King Gargantula that can just try to zone a bit more and deal with opponent's pieces. This is going to be more or less the army that you would be fielding, and I hope with that I gave you a good impression of what you can do for Orcs and Goblins. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you the next time.